Welcome back to Sunrise. Yes, Prof, you were talking about local and national parties.
Yes.
How can we get to that point without necessarily looking at INEC per se? Don't get me wrong. Without necessarily looking at INEC, those who are seeking to register their party, can they request INEC? We want to play at the local level. We don't want the national thing. Is it possible for them to do that?
No, it is not, because there's a framework already, which I think is in the law, that all political parties that meet certain conditions already prescribed by INEC must become a political party. And for that reason, they can only play at the national level. But I'm saying we must go back to the law and rejig it such that political parties can play at the local government level, at the state level, and also at the national level. Then there will be criteria to qualify for that. If you have that kind of arrangement, you won't have these, crowds, that come to register as political parties. Over 100 political associations are standing by to be registered as political parties. And it's going to be very, very difficult. So INEC has a responsibility, actually, to redesign the process. It's not coming from this. It will not come from the political parties. It has to come from INEC, and the National Assembly, so that political parties that qualify, qualify for certain requirements will be registered at the state level. Those who, qualify for certain requirements will be registered at the state level and also at the national level. Imagine that you have to have offices in 36 states to be a political party, and your office must be in Abuja. You don't have to. You can have your office in a local government or a set of local governments and operate there. And that is why we are talking about lack of mobilization, because if the political parties are at the grassroots, they will mobilize the people more and better and more effectively. But that's not happening.
But there's the talk around, independent candidates too. Yeah. What's your take on that?
Yes, I think independent candidates can be provided in the law, but it might not be effective, because you won't be able to mobilize the kind of resources you need to contest in the political space in Nigeria today as we speak. But if it is provided in the law, we can start the process. Why it is necessary is because if you don't like any of the political formations, the political parties, you can stand alone and fight. And then you, of course, mobilize the people who believe in what you want to present. And then once you are elected, that can also become a process.
Okay. Adfemi Otutu is saying there is no difference in any of the political parties in Nigeria at the moment, as they are constituted by two sets of people, power seekers and power holders. When the former gets what they seek, they become the latter. But, Doc, I have another message, a private message, where the person is saying the problem is to the political scientists and those that know how. They hide behind the scenes. They don't come out. And when they do come inside, when they get power, they shut up. Maybe they are being fed. They become power holders.
Well, you see, the way I like to respond to that is that if you have a milling machine, say a machine that mills rice, unless you reconfigure that machine, it can only mill that rice, nothing else. The way the Nigerian state is presently constituted, what would you expect? Even Chief Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo once told us that if you bring Jesus Christ to administer the country, he will fail. So what we are saying is that it's not about persons. Nigerians overemphasize persons. Let us look at the processes. Let's look at the system, the procedure, the processes. If all of these are same, put anybody there. If it's not compromised, he himself, there are instances abound. So what I think we should concentrate more is on the system, the processes, the procedure, etc. And part of the process, Prof was talking about, this idea of registering parties, and immediately I started, thinking about it. For goodness sake, why register political parties? For what? Let anybody set some criteria. If you can't win a councillorship election, you can't operate at the local government level. If you can't win local government election as a political party, you can't operate at the state level. Because you see, the problem is multivarious. The first is that I don't know whether INEC still pay political parties for being political parties. If they do, why wouldn't we have 100 people just need to be political parties? Because they know that there's a freebie somewhere. And then the criteria that you must have offices in all 36 states of the federation, including Abuja and all that. All I will just do is rent one shop in all the states and 1 2-bedroom flat in Abuja and put my flag there and say, oh yeah, go round though. You will see the flag in numbers, so. You see, what I think we should be doing is, look, don't let's continue to ape, Western democracies. Let's begin by looking at our own situation and begin to, craft our democratic processes to suit our situation. If, for example, there's a law that, look, if a political party must operate at the local level, at the local government level, you must at least win 2 wards. Definitely, if you've not won any election at that, you can't even talk about local government. And then from local government to state, then if you have, for you to be a national
But
party.
that's for pre-existing political parties. Parties that have been existing before the election.
Yeah,
what about those who are seeking registration now?
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to register any party. Elections are coming. If you want to contest, put your people together. Come and collect form. When you collect form, we document you for that election. If you succeed at that level, you become recognized for a higher level. All this idea of registration will only continue to proliferate. Of these 35 parties contesting in Ekiti, after this election, you won't hear anything. You may not even remember their name.